you are in labor. I'm like, what? I cannot be in labor. I'm barely 7 months pregnant.
Close, 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 but staying close to you is the rule. Hi guys.
I am Natalee.
And I'm Naila.
And this is our channel. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I am Natalee Cole, and today it's just me. The other half of this duo is not here, and for today's video I will be talking to you guys about Naila's birth story. Yes, and you see me smiling, but it's not all fun and games. Anyway guys, if you want to hear about Naila's birth story, please stick around and join me in today's video. This tea that I'm about to spill is very hot, so go grab your cup, grab your mug, grab your crackers, grab your Milo, and just come and sit and just come. I'm gonna spill it, or you can go get your wine, because I'm having my wine. I have my wine, I have my top up. You know I'm gonna spill it. Anyway guys, before we get into the video, please do subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you can be notified when we post upcoming videos. Without further ado guys, let's get into the video. Cheers. Alright guys, so Naila's birth story. Alright. Naila's delivery was very traumatic. Traumatic bad. It was so traumatic for me that I didn't want to talk about Naila's delivery for weeks after I had her. And it is out of that trauma why, even though I want to have another child, I am not sure that I want to go through giving birth again. Alright, I'm gonna help you guys to understand all of that. So let me just back it up. I had a wonderful pregnancy. I had a beautiful pregnancy. Like, I would do pregnancy again. Like, middle like pregnant. You know, I was glowing, I was looking good, I was like, you know, it was really good. I mean, minus a few scares here and there. And I'm gonna tell you about those too. So, I was a little bit, probably about 2 months pregnant, or 2 months plus pregnant, when I had my first scare. I was spotting. And by then, I not even did come to really accept that I'm really pregnant. But I was getting used to the idea, you know? And I started spotting, and my cousins took me to the ER. And they strung me up on monitors and all of that to check what's happening with the baby. That was the first time I heard her heartbeat. Like, oh my god, it was like the most amazing thing you will ever hear. And I think that was the second time that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a mommy, you know? Anyway, they said it's nothing to worry about, but they're gonna keep me overnight for observation anyway. And they kept me. I went home the next day. They told me to be careful and what I should do and what not to do and everything. So pregnancy was going fine and all of that. I didn't have many cravings. I think I only craved one thing. But let me tell you something. When I'm pregnant, appear high-end meat. Naila, I don't eat meat. And when I was pregnant, more chicken, more steak. Like, what is something? What did I want? Oh god, that was the first time I had it. I don't remember what it was. It was some steak or the other. So yeah, I had that, and then I was craving ribs. I never yet eat ribs in my life. I never even did know what ribs are pork. I kid you not. I thought that, I'm not gonna tell you what I think ribs was. And laugh at me, don't judge me, but don't eat meat. So I called my friend and I told her that I wanted ribs, and she was like, what? You want ribs? Anyway, I drove over Kingston. Sorry. I drove all over Kingston trying to get ribs. I go how many places? I go Hilton's, no ribs. I end up at Fridays. I'm like, yes, Fridays must have ribs because they advertise ribs all the time. So I went to Fridays, sat down, and I was like, you know, so happy. Finally, I'll get some ribs. Only for the guy comes to my order. By the way, we don't have any ribs, okay? Like, come on now, serious? Seriously? So I didn't get ribs. Left Jamaica, went to New York, and my friend took me to a rib shop. Yes. So she carried me out to get ribs, and like me tell you, I went down into those ribs. I tell you, that was the first and last time I had ribs. So that was the only craving that I had. I couldn't eat chicken. I couldn't eat chocolate. I could not eat chocolate I knew I was pregnant till I gave birth. I could not eat chocolate. Another thing that I had was orange juice. I cannot drink orange juice. I'm allergic. And throughout my pregnancy, I had orange juice. I came out of the hospital after having Naila, and I had a glass of orange juice, and I almost ended up back in a hospital. I don't understand that. It's just so weird. I also ate egg when I was pregnant, and I cannot eat egg ordinarily. So those are the few strange things that happened. So back to, you know, what was happening during the pregnancy. I think I was probably 6.5 months thereabouts. I was in New York one day. I woke up and I feel some serious pain, like metabolism. You ever have some bad period pain where you can't sit down, you can't lie down, you can't stand up, you don't know what to do with yourself? Like you just don't know what to do because you're feeling so much pain? It was 10 times that. I mean, like, Braxton Hicks are going bad. Like, Braxton Hicks, for those of you who have never been pregnant, Braxton Hicks are the pretend phantom contractions, for want of a better expression. So you'll feel these contraction like pain, but they're not really labor pain. So I thought it was really, really bad with Braxton Hicks. So my aunts were a little bit worried about me. They thought I was doing too much. They thought I was over the place, up and down, you know, moving from one city to another, because I was working on my thesis and I was collecting data. And I wanted to do all of that before the baby came. So I never stay one place, I'm up and down. So my aunts were telling me that I needed to rest. Anyway, knowing me, I can't stay one place too long. I think I was going to Bronx that day. So in the evening, I leave out for go to Bronx. My cousin decided she's not letting me go alone. So she and her boyfriend, they decided they were gonna come with me. And we're taking the train. I tell her, said the pain lick me, you know. It was just so bad. By the time we got to Brooklyn, she was like, no, we're taking you to the ER. We are taking you to the ER. So I showed up in the ER. When they checked me, they said, you are in labor. I'm like, what? I cannot be in labor. I'm barely 7 months pregnant. I cannot be in labor. They said, don't worry about it. Again, they hooked me up to monitors. They were monitoring me. They were monitoring Naila. And no one knows that Naila was in my belly like she was on vacation. Naila's both arms, like her arms were behind her head like that. Her arms were behind her head and her legs were spread eagled. That's how she was. The doctors were laughing. Like literally about 3 of them were laughing and said, this baby's not coming anytime soon. We need to give you an injection to delay labor. Because the contractions were coming very close together. And they were worried because she was not moving an inch, yet I was having these terrible contractions. So they said that the heat in New York at the time would have brought on the contractions. So they gave me an injection to delay labor. They kept me there overnight. They released me the next day. So I'm gonna leave the hospital with a nice little bill, but no baby. All right. I left Long Island, went to Connecticut. While I was in Connecticut, twice my friend had to take me to the ER. I went the first time again. They gave me an injection to delay the labor because I was having really close contractions. Baby wasn't coming. The second time I ended up at the hospital while I was there, the doctor said, listen, if you come back to hospital with these contractions, we're gonna have to keep you on these injections for the duration of your pregnancy. I was like, oh gosh, no, I cannot do this. I cannot afford to be medicated for the duration of my pregnancy. I'm not about that life. I don't want that for my baby. I said, what do I need to do? So they, you need to slow down. You need to relax, put your leg up more often, watch what you're eating. I mean, like, I wasn't eating much anyway. So they told me what to do, the precautions I needed to take, and they were suggesting that I needed to stay in Connecticut for, you know, until whenever. I was like, I can't do that. I needed to get back to Florida. I still had data to collect. I mean, listen, I have like, I'm like a mule with blinders. If I saw me, I go, I saw me, I go. Yeah. So anyway, I took the necessary precautions, and I finished my stay in Connecticut. I went back to Florida. I didn't have any more episodes of going to the hospital because I decided that I was not going to be on any kind of medication. Anyway, had one more scare when they thought that I was, you know, I was having gestational diabetes. Yeah. Anyway, when I did my second check, thank God, praise the Lord, hallelujah, I did not have it. I was just ecstatic. So yeah, but what I did have was fibroids. Really, really bad fibroids. I had like 5 humongous fibroids. Ah, Jesus. All right. So they upped my doctor visit as the time came closer. They moved it from 1 visit to from the once a month to twice a month to once every week, and then they moved it from once every week to twice per week. All right. They kept checking me. I would go into the hospital. I'd be there for like about 2 hours, and they would be monitoring me, monitoring Naila. Now I remember the Friday, I had Naila on a Sunday. The Friday before I gave birth, I went in for my regular visit. My visits were Wednesdays and Fridays. I went in the Friday, and the lady was there poking around, and then she said to me that, you know, are you leaking? Have you been leaking? I'm like, huh? What? She said, have you been leaking? So I'm like, no, I don't think so. And then she said, like, you know, have you never noticed that you're leaking? I said, no. I mean, I wear panty liners. I go to the bathroom regularly. But whenever I notice if I leak or not, I mean, it's not something that I take note of. I change the panty liners, but I've never looked to see whether or not it's damp or anything like that. No, I read, like, while I was pregnant, I read everything. Like, I read literally everything about pregnancy. Yeah, I just kept reading. I was like a sucker for information because I wasn't a very, I was 35 years old, and I was a little bit concerned, you know, especially after my OB-GYN told me that I'm not in the prime. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So she asked if I was leaking, and I said, well, I don't know. So I asked her, what's the problem? She said, she cannot find my amniotic sac. There is no amniotic fluid. Now, from my reading, we know that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. That's not a good thing. So I'm like, okay, where is it? Where they? So she said, you know, don't worry about it. And she was there poking around. So she said, I said, you know, what does that mean? Have you found it? She said, yeah, but she wasn't very positive. Anyway, they kept me there for about 4 hours or more that day. And when I was leaving, the doctor came and he said to me that we're gonna ask you to come back Monday morning. I was like, okay, this is new. He said, yes, we'll ask you to come back in Monday morning at about 8 o'clock. Like, okay, all right. And then he said, but if anything happens over the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, go straight to the hospital. All right, okay. I really wasn't worried. I was, you know, concerned because everything concerned. Naila no movie a day, I'm very concerned. I got ER, like, me not take no check. Right? I was being extra careful. So that was Friday. No. At probably about after 1 Saturday morning, we'll wake up in some pain. Like, you remember the pain I'm gonna tell you about earlier? Like when you have some really bad period pain? That was multiplied. Yeah? I'm like, why Braxton Hicks are dealing with me so? Like, seriously, come on now, man. And the pain was like so bad. I couldn't go on my side. I couldn't go on my back. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't lie down. Like, it was just so bad. I remember at one point I went on my knees. I was like literally on my knees and bent over. I got up. I went to the bathroom, and when I went to the bathroom to pee, I saw my mucus plug. So mucus plug is this brown liquidy thing that you lose like shortly before the baby comes. So I saw that, and I was just there looking at it in the toilet like, okay, all right, so I know what this means. And I thought about it, and I said, well, I have something to do that day. Denzel's movie out, the Magnificent Seven or Magnificent Horseman, something to that effect, yes. And my nose said me I go watch that movie then. If y'all know me, you know Denzel Washington is my boo. He's my boo. Like, I've watched every movie that he's been in. Like, I kid you not. Like, from him have little baby face to when him grown and have the white pepper, salt and pepper hair. Like, Denzel Washington is my boo. So I decided that, listen, I am going to watch this Denzel Washington movie. And ain't no baby gonna come and spoil it, because if I have this baby, it means that I can't go watch the movie because I'm gonna have to be home. I can't go cinema go watch the movie after I have her. So I decided I was going to watch this movie. So my best friend woke up the morning and she asked me if I was okay, and I said, yeah, yes. She never pre-me. She never realized that something was wrong. And she went to work, came back, and we went to the movie. All this time, like, I'm throughout the day, may I breathe, I'm timing the contractions. They weren't very close, they weren't very close at all. And so we went to the movies.
Well, guys, that was part 1 of Naila's birth story. Please do check back next week when I will give you the rest of the story in part 2. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Well, I don't know if it's something you enjoy, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Also, follow us on Instagram. We are Natalee_Naila.16. And also, I have a blog, penned and published by nats.wordpress.com. That's where you'll find the blog. It's I Have a Little Human, Yikes, where I share what's happening with us now, how Naila is growing, and how I am dealing with motherhood. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. See you in the next video.